Hello and welcome to Lynchburg Live. I'm your host, Linda Smith. For several years, well, for a number of years, the Lynchburg Humane Society has had a dream to build a new shelter. And finally, with this new year, that dream is becoming a reality. My guest tonight is Makena Yarbrough, the director of the Lynchburg Humane Society, who's going to be taking us on a tour of the new facility that has not opened yet. Makena, welcome back to Lynchburg Live.
Thank you very much for having me. This is going to be great fun.
I'm just delighted to be here. The part that we've seen so far has been just so impressive. And you said this logo?
Oh, yes. Our new, I don't want to call it a slogan, but catchphrase is find happiness. So we hope that people will find happiness and the pets will find happiness. And you can do that for various ways: volunteering, adopting, coming and having your birthday parties here. So we want it to be a place of happiness.
So you can have functions here now.
Yep, we'll show you a room that it's still somewhat under construction. So that's an important thing for your audience to know, that we're still in late stages of construction. So you'll see some mess in some areas that still need to have some work done. Right. But yes, we have
and there are no animals here at this stage.
There's no animals here at this time.
What is your projected launch date or opening date?
I hope that we are operating out of the new building at the end of February.
I know
we can get it all done.
Some challenges and some delays and weather
and
you'll
see some of the challenges we've had. We'll point them out in regards. There's one that's pretty obvious, so you'll see that.
I'm delighted that we're the first people to know about
to see the find happiness. Yes, we want everyone to find happiness here.
All right, and you're going to take us, so let's go.
So let's go on into our adoption lobby. So this is our main lobby. This is where people come in, get general information at this front desk. If they have a pet that they need to surrender, they would enter into this area here, which is right off the lobby for convenience reasons. And so you can bring strays here or owned pets, or if you need help with your pet, this is where you would go. It's our pet help desk, so to speak. One of the main features of our front lobby is these two sunrooms. So when someone comes in to the front door, they're surrounded by kittens and cats on one side, and we'll have dogs and puppies on the other. So when you come in, you immediately are around the animals and you know why you're here. So let's go on into the adoption lobby.
Okay.
And this main area is our adoption area. This is the Summers Family Adoption lobby. And so everything here will be adoption focused. This hallway is Liberty University Adoption Hall, and you'll see all these rooms off of there support the adoption functionality. Here is one of our cat rooms that was designed and implemented by George and Rosemary Dawson, who ironically has their name on the room as well. So this is what a cat room will look like, with the platforms, cubbies for them to hide in, places for them to climb. Cats like to be vertical. Right. So we'll have probably about 10 to 15 cats in this space living.
And this is for visitors too. They can come in and interact with the animals.
Visit with the pet. You can bring a book, you can read, you can do your homework. You can just come in and visit with the animals.
What better way, really, to get in touch with knowing what animal you want to adopt, or even if you don't have an opportunity to adopt an animal but want to interact with cats, kittens, puppies, that kind of thing.
And there are 4 of these rooms in the facility. This is the first one that we've set up, and then we'll start moving through the other ones. This room here, as we walk by, is filled with furniture that will eventually get pulled out for our lobby, but we've begun decorating it for a dog. So this is a dog living room. There will be a dog living in there 24/7.
One dog?
One dog, maybe 2 if they're small, or a dog and a cat. It's an all-purpose space for pets. This is our retail space. We'll sell t-shirts, help you with getting a leash, a collar, a bed. That is yet to be set up.
That's wonderful, and all those proceeds will go back into the facility.
It helps to support our operations.
That's great.
Correct, all our retail sales.
How many animals can you house in this facility?
We're expecting about 350 to 400.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice space. This is another living room. This is our cat patio space, which isn't done yet, obviously. We'll have a screened-in porch area outside that we can open a door and they can come out. We'll probably do some bird feeders and stuff so they can have a real outdoor environment for the cats.
You know, dogs have always had an opportunity to go in and out at shelters. But cats are pretty much confined to a cat room.
Correct.
And
Or a
have
cage.
no opportunity to see what's outside except what they can see through a window.
Correct.
So this is a wonderful innovation, I think.
And we'll have some cat trees made from real trees.
Great.
We have a volunteer making them for us, so that'll be nice. And then these rooms down here, I can't seem to stop coughing. These rooms down here are what we're calling family rooms. It's where families can come and visit with a particular dog or cat, bring their pet in to see if it gets along. We'll have benches built in, and it'll be a nice, quiet environment for them to get to really interact with the dog or cat that they want to adopt.
What a wonderful way to give a family an opportunity to see if their pet will get along with a new pet. I mean,
Exactly.
You probably can't tell 100%, but it will give them an idea.
At least an idea.
Yeah, and that's great. Anybody who's a pet lover can certainly appreciate all of this wonderful stuff you've showed me so far.
This area is our all-purpose space that I was talking about. So this is our training center room. This is where we'll have birthday parties, summer camps, training classes for pet owners with their dogs, puppy classes, puppy socials.
Wonderful. So you're going to have animal training
In this
classes for the
space.
public or for the people who are adopting the animals?
Correct. We have hired someone who will be setting up those classes, and that person starts sometime at the end of February. So we hope to have some classes implemented this spring.
You know,
But
one of
we
the
plan to
things-
have a big television here. So we could also rent or loan the space out to groups like the Rotary Club or
Great.
book clubs. They can come in and have audio-visual equipment already ready for them to use.
I imagine the more groups and the more people that you get in here for something like meetings and entertaining and parties, that gives more people an opportunity to see the animals and a greater
Exactly.
opportunity for adoption. I
We
mean,
were very
that's
smart, but that's why we did it.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
a wonderful thing, I think. One of the things I've noticed in just where we've been so far is that you give credit to everyone who's made donations of the rooms.
Correct.
Like this is the Rebecca Hawkins training room and the Liberty Hall, and you know, I think it's so good to acknowledge the people who've gone out of their way to make this even a better facility.
Absolutely. I mean, we couldn't do this facility without our supporters. So we felt it important to recognize those people so they get credit for the work they did.
And this community is so generous for something like this, for helping
Yes.
in the community.
They've been very supportive, extremely supportive. So you'll find all of our dog living rooms are going to have some fun decorative items such as these hang down chandeliers. They're inexpensive. We got them at IKEA. And most of the furniture you'll see in these living rooms are going to be metal or plastic, so the dog can't chew them up or destroy them. So we have to do some fun things on the ceilings or the walls in order to really decorate the dog areas. So this is our main dog adoption kennel area. You'll see a lot of glass blocks.
Right.
You'll see skylights above the animal areas. It's not for the people, it's for the animals. A lot of natural light, bright colors. The kennels are actually much wider than a normal kennel would be. The glass block allows us to bring, again, a cheerful, happy environment, and it's the best quality material for cleaning.
That's great.
We don't have to worry about peeling paint. We don't have to worry about chips or bacteria getting into it. It's pretty solid.
I noticed that you got who donated the kennels too, and that's great.
Yes, and so we have the donors on the kennels, but the neat thing is we have glass fronts.
Great.
And then we also have the wire fronts so that you can still interact and be engaged with the dog. These will be 1 to 2 dogs in each one. And what you're seeing is one full run here. So when you look back, will be a metal piece that goes in the middle that you open up, and this is their entire living space.
Okay.
And there's 25 kennels total in these adoption areas.
This is so much larger than what you have at the old facility.
It
I mean, this
is.
has to be better for the animals.
It's better quality material.
Yeah.
It's going to last a long time, when that's what I wanted. This floor is special it's a poured epoxy finished floor, and everything's done to last. And
That's great.
It was important for us.
Did you still have cat rooms?
Yeah.
You know, like you have at the old facility?
The group rooms
Yeah.
or the kennels? Yes.
Okay.
The one, right. There's 4 total of the cat rooms, and I can show you a few more of
Okay.
those too.
I mean, I'm sure there's no way to avoid that because of the number of animals that you get here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to head back out. So the space that I'm standing in right here is where we will have cat cages. Unfortunately, they have not arrived to our satisfaction. So the way that these cat cages are going to be set up is they're going to be from ceiling to the bottom here. They're going to have platforms with little holes in them.
Great.
So they're cat towers. So one cat can live in it and have many different places to climb and go. Like I said earlier, cats are vertical.
Right.
And then the litter box will be at the bottom, which will be hidden by a panel. And so the front of it, where the public is standing, which is where you are, it's going to be glass and then a piece of nice cage front and then another piece of glass. So you can still interact with the cats, but it would have some kind of a nice way to display them as well. And then the back, which is back here, is where the staff will be.
Great.
And they'll have wire doors to open up and clean everything. And so this is kind of the staff area for them to be able to clean the cat cages and care for them. And then we have 2 rooms back here, which is our visiting rooms for the cats. So if you want to visit with one of these animals, we pull them out for you and we take them in
That's
the room
wonderful.
and let you visit with them.
I notice you have a terrific skylight here
Another
too,
skylight.
which is more natural light that
Yeah.
certainly
We
I think is healthy for the animals.
We try and do as much with the natural light as we could do. These skylights were very important to me when we designed the building, that we bring as much natural light into where the animals are living.
I think that's great.
Okay, so right we have here is our Terry and Philip Jamerson puppy suite. And this is where we'll have puppies and small dogs. People can go in that room and interact with the puppies. We did glass on the front for obvious reasons.
Right.
The barking and the yelping and the playfulness can get loud with puppies, especially if you have a bunch of beagle puppies.
And you have the glass block like you have in the dog area.
Again, to bring a lot more natural light in, it makes a better environment, and it's just easier to clean. It'll last a very long time if we take care of it properly. So what we have here is our cat intake area. These cages are designed so that we have a much larger living space. Their food and their litter pans are separate.
Wonderful.
From their living space. And if we need to clean them, for instance, we have a cat that's not all that happy or friendly. So what you do is you pull this out, you move the cat to one area or another, you slide that back in, and that enables us to clean the area that the cat is not, without fear of it coming over or attacking us if it's not a very nice cat. And then we open it back up to give them full range of the cage once it's all cleaned. And these cages are designed to help reduce stress and help reduce the illness we see in our shelter.
What wonderful inventions that people have thought of to include in something like this, for the welfare of the cat. And the comfort of the cat.
Exactly. And what we find is that if cats are less stressed, we don't see as much upper respiratory, because the minute they get in here, they get stressed out, they start to shed this virus, and then it becomes a problem for everybody. So it helps to keep animals healthy longer, and therefore not have to go through extensive treatment. And
being a resident of a shelter is no longer a death sentence for animals.
Not here, especially.
Right.
94% of the animals leave us to find homes or go back to their existing homes.
That was my other question. How many animals were you able to adopt last year?
We took in 2,300 animals last year, and I believe we adopted out about, I think it was around 1,800 to 2,000. I don't have the exact number.
But that's wonderful. That's a huge improvement, isn't it?
Correct. And all the rest of them went to back to home to their owners.
That's great too.
Like 41% went back to their owners.
That's terrific.
Yeah, it's great. And also, again, light. Natural light. We have windows in both this room and our other cat intake space. So we have 2 cat intake spaces, one primarily for adult cats and the other one primarily for kittens, to try and separate them.
I just think this is great, especially not having the litter in that same area where they're sleeping and
living.
And living.
So they're not being forced to be in their own waste and feces.
One of the things I wanted to ask you is in 2014, you all entered a number of contests and placed or won, and how much, do you have any idea how much money you made?
We've made $35,000
Wonderful.
from the ASPCA's 100,000 challenge from the summer. So
That's
we were
great.
able to compete against 50 other communities across the country. They were divided into divisions, and we came in second in our division.
That's great.
And so we got, and we also got Most Improved Player, which was really
That's
great.
great.
And we won a photo contest that was up against, again, 50 different
Right.
communities, very large ones.
I
From
voted
New
every
Jersey
day.
we were up against one community in Kansas City, which was a huge
Right.
city with millions of people competing against our small town, and we really came out ahead. So
You did.
we were pleased.
This money that you made, now does that go into the building of this facility or into the direct care of the animals?
Direct care.
That's great.
Right now, we are focusing on our annual fund, and that means we're focusing on how we're going to care for the additional animals we're going to see at this
Right.
building, and also the additional costs involved with having a building of this size.
Great.
Okay, so this is our Higgins Thomas Health Center, and this is where we have an isolation area for small animals and cats and kittens. We'll have 2 rows of banks on either side, and then we have a small bank of cages here, and that'll be primarily for those animals that we need to keep a real close eye on that's not contagious. But this is where we'll do minor medical procedures, vaccinating, treating for various things that we see in a shelter environment. And then across the hallway here, which we can show you in a minute, is our isolation for dogs, which is something we do not have at our current facility. So this means a lot to us, to have a proper environment to be able to really treat animals.
When you're involved in a spay-neuter clinic, do the animals go to the veterinary hospital?
Yes.
As opposed to coming here?
Correct.
Okay.
And they'll still go there.
All right.
We'll still transport them up to the spay-neuter clinic in Evington to get their surgery, rabies vaccines, and to see a vet.
Great.
We have a vet tech that comes into our current shelter a couple times a week, and she'll continue to do that here until we're able to sustain a full-time vet.
That's great.
Which we would like to see
That's
happen.
great.
But until we can raise some more funds to be able to operate that type of functionality, we won't be able to.
Do you have fundraisers coming up in the near future?
We have 2, actually. Slobberfest, which is the 28th, I believe, of March. And then we have the Best Friend Ball, which is our black tie event, in April 18th.
And you usually do really well with those, don't
We do.
you? That's
Yeah.
great.
Slobberfest is just a fun field day activity for people and their families to come out with their dog and do some fun activities. So
That's
we
great.
really enjoy it. Okay, so let's go. If you want to, we'll go to dog intake to show you how much more space we have to bring in more animals.
All right.
When they're on a stray hold or when they're new arrivals from owned animals.
How long do you keep animals before they're put into the population for adoption to see if someone's going to come claim a lost animal?
If it's a lost pet, then we hold them for 6 days if they don't have any kind of collar or identification. If they have something on them that identifies them as an owned pet, then we have to hold them for 11 days.
Okay.
And on the 11th day, they go up for adoption. Okay, so this is one of our 2 intake areas for dogs. This creates an environment where it's a little smaller of a kennel. This is, again, one full size. We did bring color into the space because, they may not see all of the color, but they can see a little bit of color, and it makes the staff feel better. But again, we brought in the natural light.
Skylight, yeah.
And on the other side, they have windows over there. So right now, in our current facility, we have 12 kennels for intake, newly arrival dogs. This room and the other room provides us with, I believe, 24 to 25 kennels. So it more than doubles our space.
These look about like the size of the current ones at the old facility, is that right?
These are actually much smaller.
Are they smaller?
Yeah, they are. Well, the current intake kennels are much smaller. So in actually,
I was thinking about just the regular
so the
kennel.
regular intake kennels that we have are much smaller. and more dangerous for people because they don't have the way to separate the dog from one side to the other. And so you're having to handle the dogs every day, pulling them out of the kennel to clean them. This enables us to, if we have any dangerous dogs or court cases, that the staff doesn't have to come in direct contact with them. But more importantly, we can isolate the dogs on one side or the other to help relieve some stress.
I hadn't thought about court cases, but since you brought that up, how are those handled? Are these dogs that have like attacked somebody and have to be quarantined for a certain amount of time?
We have various reasons that dogs end up with us for court cases. It could be a neglect case, could be a hoarding case. We had one of those this year. It could be that it's a dangerous dog that attacked someone on the street or a neighbor or injured another animal. Animal control brings those to us. We have to hold them until the court case is complete, which could be from 1 to 2 months or 3 months. And we've had some dogs with us for 6 months. So,
and this is the area that...
This is one of 2 areas. In the other intake area, we have some double wide cages that are like 2 of these put together so that we have extra space if we do end up with cases such as that, to give them a little bit more room. And also if we have any mothers with puppies, it gives them a little bit more space too. So.
And unfortunately, people do turn in mothers with puppies, cats with kittens.
Sometimes we get strays and we don't know they're pregnant until they start having puppies or kittens. So.
You still have your fostering program?
We do. Okay. They're kitten warriors, is what we're calling it, yes. So we're excited to have additional space for dogs because this will double our capacity to bring in more animals.
That's great.
Okay, let's move on to the staff support areas.
Okay. All right, Makena, I love the title or the name of this room we're going into, the Wash and Fluff Room.
Well, this is where a lot of great things happen for us, and I'll tell you, if you could see where we are currently, it's remarkable that we're able to have 2 full-size washer and dryers so that we can wash all the linens and blankets and comforters and pillows and all the things that we use on a daily basis to try and make the animals feel more comfortable. And these dryers are huge. I can't believe it.
You know, I don't think the general public would ever consider how you maintain the towels and the things. And most of those are donated, or a lot of them are donated by the public, aren't they?
Almost 100%. I mean, we don't go out and buy it very often. Usually if we just ask for it, people show up with them, which is nice. I'll tell you, fleece blankets have been our favorite because they clean really easily and they dry really fast. Towels, we use them every day. All the cats get a towel or a bed of some sort. All the dogs get something in their kennel. Even if they destroy it, it's okay because, you know, having something soft and cuddly is important for their stress reduction.
You get donations of animals, stuffed animals and
dog toys, yes, but we could always use more. I always feel like we need more cat toys or dog toys.
Want to be able to get that message out.
Exactly. So let's move on to the other staff support spaces. So this is our pet food kitchen is what we call it. This is where we'll have a lot of food storage. We'll prepare the different food bowls for the pets, but also wash dishes. This dishwasher we are looking at will wash a load of bowls in a matter of 2 minutes.
You know, I think that's another thing that the general public never thinks about, and I hadn't thought about it either, is where you store the pet food that you're feeding these animals, how you clean the dishes. You know, it just never occurs to think about those things, and now I see.
You have to have a designated area where it's up off the floor where you can easily keep it dry and rodent-free, so to speak, but I expect this building won't have a problem with that.
That's great.
And then the only other areas are 2 more staff offices. But something to note, this door here leads back out to the adoption kennels. So this building feels big and maze-like, but it's easy to get to all areas fairly quickly. So that goes right back out to the adoption area for the staff to access. So this is something I'm excited about because in our current facility, we really don't have an office space. So this is our administrative office suites. We have an office for the volunteer person. This area out here was designed so that we can have multiple people working in an open office environment. Because the one thing I've learned is you never have enough office space.
You don't.
So this could hold up to 4 people if we designed it properly.
What are the cushions for?
It's if you have somebody who wants to come and sit next to you while you're looking
Oh,
at a
okay.
screen or something.
I thought
it was
that
a
was
fun
cat
design. I
cushions.
thought it was, well, yeah, we do plan to have animals in here.
Yeah.
And then off of this main space are offices for the staff. And the cool thing about the offices is they have Dutch doors.
And that's
And
great.
yeah, so they can have an animal in there and shut the door and still be open for people to come in and visit.
And you'll have free roaming animals?
We'll probably have a cat in here, knowing us. And then down here is our conference or boardroom
Oh, this is nice.
and a workspace for us. Coffee makers are very important. And right now, we don't have any place to meet. So when we have committee meetings or board meetings, we have to go and find another place to do
Right.
it. So this will be a nice space for us to be able to have our monthly meetings, have committee meetings, and we've used it already quite a bit.
It's a really nice space.
It's a good working space because a number of us will come in and sit down with our laptops and have meetings and talk and work all at the same time.
You had mentioned to me earlier, and I just saw a car driving through your parking lot, that people are starting to come and just drive through the parking lot, look
We're
at the
eager
facility.
to see when this is going to open.
Yeah,
I'm
think
eager
that's-
to see this place open.
I mean, I think that's great. It shows that there's so much interest in the community for this facility and getting it open, and I think that's great.
I agree.
But
And,
this is, this is not the first car I've seen since we've been here today.
no, it's
People
probably
are-
the fourth one I've
Yeah,
seen since
people
I
are
arrived
driving
this morning.
through.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I think everyone's
Right.
really excited about this, and I'm excited about this. I want everybody to see it. It's just not quite ready yet for
And-
us to be able to operate.
Once again, your boardroom has light, natural light, which is certainly conducive to working and to keeping your mood elevated and that kind of thing. So I'm really impressed with it.
And my office, I love. I don't know if you want to see that or not, but it's not decorated completely, but it has a nice place where I can sit and talk to people and not feel like an office so much.
You're already starting to pile up.
My piles. Yes, I am a piler. I've got things to put away, but I'm just excited to have a real office.
Right.
And
And
I
the-
can't imagine how much more creative stuff will come out of the staff
Oh, I'm sure.
now that we're out of that environment and we're in a much more pleasant place.
And especially with the light.
Yes,
the light
I do.
is,
I got the corner office with all the windows.
yeah, I think that's such an important feature.
It is. It makes me feel good coming in. I don't want to leave, truthfully. At 5 o'clock, I'm
That's
like,
good.
do I have to go?
That's the kind of job everybody wants,
I
something
love-
that you don't
yeah.
want to leave. That's
love my
great.
job, for
Yeah,
sure.
That's great.
Okay.
I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show, and I thank Makena Yarbrough and the Lynchburg Humane Society for having us over to go on the tour of this wonderful, wonderful facility, and I'm looking forward to it opening soon. If you're considering adding a pet to your family, please consider coming to the Lynchburg Humane Society shelter and looking at all of the pets that they have here. My next show will feature Gentle Shepherd Hospice. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.